Odyssey's Researchers Reports. I'm Kerry Arnold. With me, as always, producer and co-host of the report, Miss Daniela Aiello. How are you, dear?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Well, it is Researchers Report, but we don't have a researcher here. Mr. Lee Woods was supposed to join us, but he hasn't even looked at his link yet. So I don't know. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. Nevertheless, Danielle and I will do our best to give you a little bit of something here. We do have a little bit to tell right here in the beginning, don't we?
Do we? Yeah, we do.
I think we do.
We do. You have an announcement. Anyway.
I do have an announcement. We have let's get a couple more.
Yeah.
Float on in here. There's 29. We usually takes about 15 minutes. We won't wait that long.
No.
But
how are you doing in your lockdown? What are you doing to pass the time?
Well, very little. Just I just created a brand new channel. It's called The Shudder. There's a link in the description. It's strictly for telling stories, and it's more for the people that don't care for the Bigfoot stuff. I'm still gonna have Bigfoot stories on there. Just made the first upload, so I think I've got 33 subscribers. I put it on Facebook, and we got some subscribers from there. But if you guys would go over there and subscribe, I'll be putting stories out there probably every day, till we can get that thing built up. It's all kind of stories that make you shudder. I'm going to take some of the Bigfoot stories you've already heard, just the ones that stories people have told me and that I've written. I'm going to do those. I don't know if I'll do the like classics or anything like that. But I got the first video. It's terror at the rest area. Terror at a rest area. And it's actually two stories. It's a ghost story first, and then a really scary cryptid story after that. It's only 8 minutes long, so it's just two quick little short stories, and eventually they'll get longer. Once we get on up there in the subs, I'll start putting 3 and 4 stories together in one video. But yeah, be cool if you guys go and check that out. It's called The Shudder. There's another channel called The Shudder, but he hasn't uploaded anything in like 3 years, and he only had 3 videos on there, and they were just strange stuff. So I mean, not even had anything to do with anything creepy or scary at all. Oh, and I appreciate everybody's input on what to name the channel. I settled on The Shudder. I had so many ideas for what I was going to call it. I don't know. I just like it. Linda didn't like it at first, but it kind of grew on her once I said it in the deep voice. I put the James Earl Jones spin on the voice on the audio interface. She liked it then. Yeah, that's it. That's the thumbnail right there. That's what you're gonna not the thumbnail. That's the avatar that you'll see. Created that myself. Thank you very little.
That's good. What did you use in the end?
It's a cool little animation. You'll just have to look at it. You'll have to see. It's ink blots and kind of 3D, and then it comes down the shutter along with some music, and then I'll begin my little narration, my little intro, and then the narrations begin. I put in between the scene, I put a little like a chapter marker. So instead of me announcing or introducing the story, you'll read like I did with Sisters of the Moon in that video, where you see the little black box come up and it tells in there what the chapter is. So you'll see it fade into the scene, will fade into this little black spot, and then it'll come up there, whatever the story is. And then right after that, I'll go into the story. So just something I'm trying, something I'm going to try. So you guys still get the Bigfoot stories. You're just going to have to get them from the Shudder. And then we'll obviously have Researchers Report here, and hoping once this COVID thing is over with, we'll be able to get out and shoot an Odyssey. Don't know with who yet. May go back down and see the GoTro since it's pretty close and do a part 2 if they'll have us.
Interesting. I think they'll have you.
I thought Russell was going to make a channel, Mogollon Monster.
Yeah, he started.
He did?
Yeah.
How did I not know about this?
I don't know. Shall I find it?
Is that what it's called, Mogollon Monster?
I'm not 100%. Let me just look for it now. I am sub to it, but I
found a little channel. It's brand new, and the guy's name is Zach. It's called Rooted Expeditions, and if you can find that, go and subscribe to Rooted Expeditions. It's pretty cool what he's doing. It's around the Fort Worth area. It's I think he just did one Goatman Bridge, and then I think the one before that was Oldest Cemetery in Fort Worth. It's just kind of cool what he's doing. I like it. I emailed back and forth with him a few times, just trying to give him my input. I mean, I'm not anybody, but we've done this long enough to kind of have a decent idea of kind of what people like and don't like, and not to make your videos too long, which is, I'm not one to be saying that, because I'll put a 2-hour video up there but it's documentary style. So to me, that's a little bit different, because it's got a lot of dynamics to it. What we ended up with the last few, I think since 8 or 9, what we ended up with on the Bigfoot Odyssey. But yeah, so I need to subscribe to Mogollon Monster. Everybody needs to go and subscribe to Mogollon Monster.
He's in the chat tonight. What's the name of the channel? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It might be WTF. No, that's what he was going to call it. What the fascination.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's catchy.
Why the fascination? Sorry.
Why the fascination? Man.
Why the fascination?
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. You've gone through quite a few names.
I know, and I settled on, I just wanted something short. Boom. First video with a guest will be tomorrow. Fantastic. Who you gonna have on? Or Russell? Maybe we should have Russell on here talking about his new channel, since we don't have any other guests.
Yeah.
Or,
why not?
Let's do that. Let's do that, Russell. Why don't you get ready and come on here, buddy, with us, since we lost Lee, and I don't have much more to talk about other, with telling the stories. Daniela is doing something in the same vein, are you not?
I am, but I'm not saying anything yet.
Okay.
But it's all coming together.
I messed all that up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But it's okay.
Here's one. We gotta look at this. Big shout out to Mrs. Linda Arnold for her dedication as a nurse at Bigfoot. That was from 5 Hazel. She's listening. She said thank you. Love her. Yeah, she's doing it every day. They've got a lot of those C19 patients in there, and it's I don't know if we hit the peak yet or not. You think, Linda? You think the peak is hit yet? Peak has not hit yet. I don't know if they heard you or not. Maybe she said she looks terrible, but she's coming to say hello. There she is, the nurse.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know. You can't hear, can you?
No, I can't hear, but tell everybody hello.
They can hear you.
I'm just tired.
I know she's tired, and she is. It's 12-hour days, but it's also a 45-minute drive from here to Oshner, where she works. So it ends up being about 16 hours. But she leaves here at 4 in the morning, and and doesn't get back till 8 o'clock.
It's a long day.
It's a long day, and they're just she comes in, goes straight to the shower. Obviously, she don't want to touch anybody or anything like that. It's so far so good. We've all managed to keep pretty healthy, and they do. They go through a pretty rigorous safety. They have a very solid safety standard there at the hospital. It's masks as soon as you come in, gloves, hand sanitizer, all the normal personal protective wear that they use. It's just it's a shame some of the things you hear. And what's strange to me is, it's, I guess the whole notion is that people with underlying conditions, older people especially, are the ones that are like really in danger from this. And I'm not saying they're not, but I think and I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is just what it is. A 36-year-old woman, and I mean, she was obese. She was a big girl, passed away from it, and then had a 68-year-old man that smoked get over it and get released. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. The whole thing is strange. A lot of conspiracy theories out there about it. I'm not trying to spread any of them, that it was something that was created. And I mean, I guess that's the feeling, just because it hits so quick, But if you listen there's a documentary that came out last year before any of this happened that said the next pandemic will more than likely come from an animal, and it'll come on quick. And I mean, like 4 months later, here we are right in the middle of it. Apparently this thing came from a bat. So I don't want to say that the Chinese government created this, because there are things out there related to influenza and the thousands, probably millions of different strains of it that can be really bad. The thing about a lot of these viruses they're not easily transmittable from animals to humans, which is a good thing. I'm not talking about COVID. Obviously it is. And some of them they're bad, but they don't get past the host. The host gets it from eating whatever they die or whatever. And it's not something that gets passed on. It stays with the host. So most of those are like that. But every now and then you just get one of those like this. This happened. It happened, was it 1917? Influenza killed 50 million people worldwide. But there wasn't the social connection back then that we have now. Information didn't travel back then the way it does now. So you can see how something like that in Slidell, Carl, not New Orleans, and she works in Slidell at Ochsner there. But you can see how it could happen back like that back then. And then even, in the, 400 years ago, in the days of the Black Death, the plague, which I think came from fleas, came from rats, and then fleas bit the rats and then got on people and bit the people, and they got that disease. I wish I could be giving you guys a lot more interesting story here.
No one's getting back to me.
You're frozen, Daniela, for some reason.
Have I? Oh,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's weird.
It may be on my end. Who knows? That's
Yeah.
quite possible. But you are frozen.
Yeah.
You know what I could do? I could play the very first episode of Shudder for you guys if you want to hear it. It's only 8 minutes long. You want to do that?
Do it.
Do it?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
Hang on.
All right. You guys are going to get to hear the very first episode of Shudder right here on Bigfoot Odyssey. Then, if you like it, you can go and subscribe.
It's not on here.
And give it a thumbs up. Well, it's not on there.
No.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's unlisted.
Oh, there you go then.
So I'm going to have to do it, which is not a problem.
Press the allow audio box. Don't forget to do that.
Allow audio.
When you share screening.
Okay, yeah. Share screen. Chrome tab. All right, can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
I've put it on full screen, but can't hear anything.
No, I haven't played yet.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, it's
But
full screen now.
Okay, you can see it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hello, and welcome to the Shudder. This channel is dedicated to telling stories of spirits, cryptids, and strange events, most sent to me by listeners and some found in online forums. But any one of these stories could be one that makes you shudder. I can't say I was much of a believer in ghosts and the paranormal. I think it's because I spent so much time alone. I didn't want to believe in them, but one night in my renovated home, I experienced something I will never forget. I was having work done in the house. Almost every room needed something done. The reconstruction had been underway for about 2 weeks. There was clear plastic hanging as a partition in several places, and the walls were plaster patched. It was a mess. One night, I was lying in bed and thought I heard someone say my name, Jeff, but it also kind of sounded like a dog barking in the distance, so I paid it little mind. Then I heard it again, but this time it was longer and more distinct. Plus, they said, Jeffrey, this time. I sat up and called out, What? I heard nothing more. A moment later, I got up just to have a look around. I walked down the hall and called out again, Hey, you there? Nothing. I was standing in the hall looking into the living room. When I turned to walk back to my bedroom, I saw a figure standing on the other side of the plastic that was hanging on a wall. I stared at it for a moment to make sure it wasn't my eyes playing tricks. They weren't. It was a woman, but she looked really bad. She would disappear for a moment behind the plastic, then reappear like she was backing away and then walking up to the plastic. The only problem with that is the plastic was hanging on a wall. There's no way a real person can do that. She looked almost nude. I could see the pale color of her skin and what looked like part of a gown that had been torn off one shoulder. Her eyes were black and large, and her mouth looked like it was just a tear in her face. She stepped back once again where I couldn't see. The plastic jostled a bit, like a light breeze hit it, but this time she didn't return. I got the nerve to walk over and pull the plastic away from the wall, just to make sure, and it was just the wall, spotted with a bit of plaster, and then a cold breeze froze me in place. I stood there in amazement for a few minutes, waiting to be able to move again. Finally, I broke from my daze and walked back to my bedroom. I lay down and watched the hall door till I fell asleep. Who or what the woman was, I don't know, but I do think she was trying to tell me something. I'm a sales rep for a major textile company. I travel a lot, mostly driving. One night, back in 2013, I experienced something that changed the way I see the natural world. It was late summer in the South. Down there, even the nights are hot and muggy. I was traveling south on I 55 near Mogollon, Mississippi. It was around 11 o'clock at night. I wasn't tired or sleepy, but when I got to a particularly dark stretch of road, a strange feeling came over me. All of a sudden, I could barely keep my eyes open, and I had to stop. I saw a sign for a rest area just up ahead. I rolled down my windows, turned up the radio, and willed myself to make it to that rest area. When I pulled in, it was empty, other than one big rig parked on the other side of the on ramp going back out. There was a restroom and some vending machines there. It was well lit, and I got no sense there was anything out of the ordinary. I went into the men's room to take care of business, found a clean stall, and settled in. While I was sitting there, I heard what sounded like voices. They were very faint, and I knew they were not in the restroom area. This sounded like it was on the other side of the wall from me, near the woods. The voices stopped for a second or two. Then the most horrendous scream I've ever heard echoed through the hallway dividing the men's and women's restrooms. It was no doubt a child, and they were screaming, "Help! Someone please help!" I had a pistol, but I had left it in my car. I decided I would go for my pistol, then come back to try and help this child that was most definitely in some kind of trouble. I got ready as quietly as I could, opened the stall door slowly, and looked out to see if all was clear. I saw no one and shot out of there in a full sprint. I ran to my car as fast as I could, grabbed my gun, and headed back to where I thought the screaming might have been. When I got to the hallway separating the restrooms, I saw nothing. I crept toward the back where the hall opened up into the woods. It was very dark, and I could just see back there from the ambient hallway lighting. I peeked around the corner to the left and saw nothing. I quietly creeped over to the other side and again saw nothing. I decided to ease around the building to see if they had made it back to the parking area. As I made my way to the dimly lit back of the building, my pistol leading the way, I felt a cold breeze that gave me goosebumps. It was the worst sense of dread, a true creepy feeling. I stopped to have a look around, and standing behind me, not 8 feet away, was something that cannot be accurately explained. I saw a man-like figure with pale white skin. It was very tall and very skinny. It wore no clothing, but I could see no genitalia. Its head was oversized for its bony body, and its fingers were long and looked to have long, sharp nails, almost like claws. Its eyes glowed like cat eyes in headlights. I didn't hesitate. I fired 3 shots as fast as I could at this thing. I know I hit it all 3 times, then turned and ran for my life toward the car. I fumbled for my keys as I approached my car, got the door open, and secured myself inside. I took a moment to look around the building to see if I could spot the creature, but didn't see anything. I cranked my car and drove out of there as fast as I could. When I passed the semi parked on the side of the on ramp, the door was open, but I didn't see anyone. I didn't stop. I sped past the truck and onto the interstate, thinking that thing must have gotten whoever was in that truck. I drove on for several hours, reflecting on what that thing could have been, till I reached my hotel room in Shreveport, Louisiana. I watched the news for several days, but heard nothing of a missing trucker in that area. I don't know what I ran across that night at that remote rest area, but as long as I traveled, I never stopped at another one. I hope you enjoyed those. If you did, give them a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can join me again soon for the Shudder. There you go.
Very good.
You think? You like that?
Yeah.
I wasn't reading well. I don't know. The others will be better. I was trying. I for some reason I feel like I need to be cryptic, and I don't want to be. I just want to be me reading the stories, but still, with the right inflections, which is what makes any story a decent story. It doesn't matter what kind of voice you have. If you can put the inflections in the right place and emphasize it the right way, then you know you can be a good storyteller. I had a guy Roland from Tennessee call me the other day and give me some tips on voice and muscles you can move in your face. So I'm sitting here making all kind of faces. I'm trying to narrate. Yeah, I probably look extremely goofy sitting here recording this stuff, but I don't know. He said it's just one of those things you got to get. He said it's why Elvis did the thing with his
All
lip,
right.
you know.
Uh-huh.
Well, the wind is rain. That thing that Elvis did.
Yeah. Uh-huh. What about some music videos?
Yes, Miss Betty, I will. Good advice. Somewhat?
Some singing and piano?
No.
No, what? No?
No. That's not gonna happen.
Okay.
I want people to subscribe to the channel.
They will. They
It
will.
would be
People
pretty could be terrifying, I suppose. We put it on Shudder. Here's something scary. Somebody had a name for a channel. I think it was something scary with Kerry. I don't know. It was a cool little play on words with my name. It was funny.
Scary Kerry, isn't it? Kathy Buchanan, hello. My camera's froze. I don't know. I'm trying to play around with it, but it's not.
Have you tried to come back?
I will do that now. I just it's just not even recognizing it, so I'll do that. Bye.
Bye. Well, it's just me now. So unfortunately, we have 35 more minutes of this. Oh, there she is. No, yeah, no, I appreciate you guys going and subscribing to the new channel. Like I said, the Bigfoot stories will be on there. And if you don't want to hear the other stuff, it'll be labeled. So you'll know when it's a Bigfoot story. And all these stories are true to the best of my knowledge. Somebody said, don't be putting up fake stories. I don't know how to tell the difference, really. You know, I get it's either a story someone told me or there's Russell. It's either a story someone told me or it's something I got from either the BFRO or an online forum, and they're all supposed to be true. So it's I want to never intentionally put anything up there made up. But how can you tell? I mean, some of these things are just wild. The story that I just told, the last one from Mississippi, was a story that a guy told me. Actually, a friend of mine lives in Summit. Happened to his dad. So I mean, and he swears by it. So I thought it was a cool story. Mr. Russell, Mogollon Monster, how are you, buddy?
Kerry, how you doing, man? You guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we got
Awesome. Daniela, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
So tell us about the new channel. What's it called? All that good stuff.
Well, it's I just kept it Mogollon Monster.
Awesome.
It's kind of Why the Fascination or WTF. So on the thumbnail, you'll see WTF, or it's just a little play on words.
Good clickbait.
And it's basically I'm looking for, like you guys are all of a sudden looking for stories from listeners. I figure everybody's got a story to tell out there. So, you know, in this time right now, I think we really need to, put it out there. You did a narration, I don't know, a while back by Mike Kirkpatrick, and he contacted me and he did an interview yesterday. We recorded, and we'll get it out tomorrow or Monday, whenever he did it. Really, he's got some interesting stories, and he's really good at telling them.
Mike's a good dude. He that was a pretty, it was him and his son, right? I think. Wasn't that it? No,
it was
his wife.
It was his wife at the time.
That's right. Yeah, his wife. I think she's passed on. Rest her soul.
Yeah.
Now, but yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I thought it was a good story, a good narration, and one of the ones we did, straight faced when we did Blue Line Wednesday. But we haven't gotten him to come on the show yet. But I mean, he is. I've talked to him before. He's just a good dude.
Yeah, he is a nice guy. He's down to earth and a pleasure to talk to. You know, he's got a lot of good stories, like I said, and I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff with him.
Well, I'm
Absolutely.
positive Daniela can put you in contact with a lot of people that will want to come on.
No, that'd be fantastic. I'm not begging, but every video
you got
I
to get
put out,
started somehow.
and that's it. And I think tomorrow's video will make people pay attention. I think a little bit. Now that I'm going to have a guest on, and it's a long video. It's longer than I've anticipated, but it's entertainment.
So it's pre-recorded?
Yeah. Oh, it's done.
Okay,
it's ready to
nice.
go.
Oh, all right, cool. What time are you going to put it out? You going to premiere it?
I thought about doing that, but I don't know if I'm gonna premiere it. I might just throw it out there.
Okay.
You guys caught me off guard, so I wasn't ready to hop on the air.
Didn't get your makeup on and all that. So.
No, bad hair day. Actually, it's been a bad day in general. Got some, bad news this morning. Apparently, my aunt passed away back east from this virus, and
so sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it is sad, and I think everybody kind of throughout the country, we're not affected, like some other people are, like people in New York are affected differently than people in Arizona or, where we don't have these mandatory restrictions. I mean, they're more suggestions, and
right.
That's about to change. I mean, I don't want to go out. I think everybody should stay home, do your part, and let's do the right thing and try to keep this under control.
Absolutely. Agree.
There's too many people out there that aren't affected, and they just think it's business as usual, and it's not. And it's unfortunately people are going to find out the hard way. I kind of looked at it like I looked at it from my point of view of it doesn't really affect me, or it hasn't affected me, but now it has, and it's it's gotten personal. So I mean, I was going to put out a PSA and just tell people to stay the F home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I think we really have to do is just buckle down and do the right thing.
Well, we live in a small town. There's probably 4,000 people in this town, Poplarville, Mississippi. I don't care if people know where I live. And they're doing things like that here. A lot of the places, like the drugstore, they're set up outside. You drive up, they come to the window, everybody's got on gloves and a mask. And some of the stores here, you can't go in, like Dollar General. I think you can't go in. You should be wearing a mask and gloves anyway if you're going to go out, period. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody around here has it. I'm not sure. But like I said, Linda's around it every day. She comes home. You just don't know.
That's scary.
Goes to the laundry room, takes her clothes off, puts them in there, and runs nude it's quite a sight, to the bathroom to take a shower and wash off. She's laughing. I can hear her laughing. But that's what she does. And that's just to keep us safe, because she doesn't know what's on her clothes or whatever, I don't want anybody getting in the car with her. This thing lives 17 hours, 18 hours on
a surface,
on metal, I think.
Yeah.
A long time, man. That's a long time.
Too long.
Especially for a door handle for a business. I mean, it's a good way to spread it. But, the grocery store's open here. Everybody I saw in there, aside from one person, had on a mask and gloves.
I was surprised. I went to Walmart yesterday, and I was surprised to see how many people have stepped up and are wearing the masks and the gloves. And, in the morning, we tried to go to Home Depot, but there was a line. They were limiting the amount of people. So I was just like, you know what, we'll go another time.
You can get the nitrile gloves. You can get them at Walmart, 100 packs, like $10. You can get the black ones or the blue ones that painters use, whatever. But you don't have to get one of those surgical masks. You can just take a piece of t-shirt and cut it and soak it down with hand sanitizer or alcohol or whatever. And then, I mean, let it dry good. Go out with that. And then when you come back in with it, put it back in that same alcohol sanitizer before you put it on again. That works just fine. Bandana.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of bandanas that I can use, to deal with.
You're not wearing one right now. That's what I've noticed.
You caught me off guard. I was just like, ah.
Well, we're glad you came on, man. We hate that.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, we hate that we missed Lee Woods, and I hope everybody that's seeing this right now goes and subscribes to Mogollon Monster. And here's your first videos coming out tomorrow with Mike Kirkpatrick, correct?
I did my first actual interview, if you will. I mean, it's more Mike just going on, and that's fine. I've done one. Narration, quick narration. One of the videos. Not that I'm cut out to be a narrator, but I'll do what I can. I think everybody.
Look, man, it's not
stepping
about
up.
It's not about a voice. Look at Dixie Cryptid. He doesn't really have, a narrator voice. What he's got, and he's a friend. He lives right up the road.
Sure.
Cam. We talk all the time. He's the one that convinced me that I needed to be doing narrations. Well, he'll tell you. He said, I'm just a country boy. I just read the story, but he's got presence. And if you can, and he puts those inflections in the right place, and he grabs a hold of you and you sit there for the whole thing. I think his view time is like 75%.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Well, it's 100% with me, because if I put something of his on, I watch it. I love listening to him, and kudos to you, because you're doing a great job on your narrations, and and you have that voice for that, and it's
all I got.
Yeah, right.
It's all I got. I'm lucky. That's why I feel very fortunate.
It's good to see everybody stepping up and putting out that extra content, and I'm just trying to do my part and help in any way I can, and get out there. And again, you got to start somewhere, so this is where I'm starting. It might not seem like the ideal time, but to start, but maybe it is. Why not?
I think it's great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Again, the channel that I mentioned earlier, Rooted Expeditions. Guy's name is Zach. He's just getting started. I think he had like 170 subscribers when I subscribed, but found him somehow. I think he commented on one of our videos. That's how I found him. And what he's doing is pretty cool. It's just something different that I think you guys should go check out. I'm gonna try to get him on here. I emailed with him back and forth a few times, and maybe he will come on here. His name is, I don't know his last name. I just know his name is Zach. And but he seems like a really nice guy, and it's doing kind of a cool little show there. I think you guys will enjoy. They're short little videos.
Right on. So. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see new creators, coming out and putting stuff out. There's plenty of room, in this field that, I invite everybody to put a story out or send them to me. No.
Well, a hard thing to find nowadays is somebody that's really keeping it clean. I work in the oil field, I did work in the oil field until everything shut down. So I don't have the best language in the world when I'm at work. But I'm mindful of it on here, because you never know who's watching. And if
Sure.
if you do it too much and you're trying to make $1 doing it, YouTube they'll demonetize you real quick. Yeah. So I try to tell Mark Zasky when he comes on here, every time he cusses, I'm like, you just got demonetized. love Mark Zasky. Love him. That's my boy, but he can't help it. He just doesn't think. He doesn't think. He just puts it out there.
So yeah, it's I'm having fun. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm figuring out the editing part, because I started this off and I'm like, editing, what's that? So a lot of the videos, or if I put out 5 of them are just one takes.
Give me a call.
Absolutely.
I'll FaceTime with you. I'll do my best to help you out anyway. I've edited a few, but here's something right here. The Scottish Wild Man. That's a good little tip. Linda, What's the thing with the zinc? Zinc protects your cells. That's what zinc does. And boost your immune system. Okay, that's what zinc does. Quinine, if you can find it, or zinc, because that's what this virus does. Is it destroys the cells and or shuts them down in your lungs. That's what it does. But if you take zinc, it keeps those cells healthy. And like she said, quinine will do the same thing. A lot of people took quinine.
Quinine was a malaria treatment back in the day,
and people still take it for pain.
Tonic water. You can use a tonic water. That's got it in it.
Does it?
That's what it is. Tonic water is the quinine.
Garlic pills boost your immune system. What's another? Full blueberries, full of antioxidants.
Turmeric is good for you as well.
Turmeric, yeah. So but if you can find zinc, about 25 milligrams a day is what you'd need, and you can usually find it in a calcium pill. It's calcium, zinc, and something else, and you take like 3 a day, and you end up getting 1,000 milligrams of calcium, 25 milligrams of zinc. But that's a very good point you made there, Scottish Wildman. Thank you, appreciate that. Well, we got 41 minutes. Anybody got any questions? Somebody asked something. I hate that we lost our. Has he even looked at his message, Daniela?
Let me just have a look now.
Mr. Lee Woods. I think you guys tried to get on yesterday, and he was having issues.
And today we tried it, and had a look.
So the thing about StreamYard, if you're on your computer, you're already connected to a browser, so you can just hit go to Studio and it brings you in. But if you're on a cell phone, especially an iPhone, you have to copy that link and then put it in Safari to bring you on. So I don't know how you have a laptop or a desktop, don't you, Russell?
Yeah, I'm on a laptop right now.
Yeah, so you just come right in. If you're on your phone, and I think he was having trouble figuring that out, because all you do is hit copy link and you go out of there and then you go to your Safari, clear that out, paste that in there and hit it, and it brings you right in. So it is a browser based, which is a good thing to me. I love StreamYard. You really need to look into it.
Well, the first time I came on back in October, I didn't have Chrome on my laptop, so I couldn't do it. So I actually did it from my phone.
And that's what you had.
So it's possible,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how it is with Android. I know that's how it is with iPhone, that you have to.
No, you just connect straight away with Android.
Do you? Okay. I think it must be just iPhone that you have to copy that link and put it in Safari.
Yeah.
Because I have to do it every time because I use iPhone.
Yeah, I have an Android.
There you go. Android. See, all that stuff works with Windows and things like that really well. This is the thing about Apple and Mac, is its own little operating system, which is probably a good thing. You can't get a virus from it, they say. I haven't gotten one yet. This is
we don't get them on phones, do we? I mean, the Androids. I mean, less and less now, I think. Viruses are out there.
Linda uses Android. I just can't. I've used iPhone ever since the iPhone 3, and that was my first smartphone. I went from a Razor to an iPhone 3, and I resisted for as long as I could, and I've gone with them ever since. Every time the next one came out, I went and got it. Linda, I tried to get her into the iPhone, and she wasn't having it. She's still not having it. So I couldn't tell her. She hated it. I can hear her right now. She's listening.
I prefer the Android.
Yeah, most people do.
I know you get used to it, don't you? You get used to your own thing.
Well, anything that Android has that I use, I just put on my iPhone, which Google Maps, which comes in handy. I put that on here, and there you go. But there's Miss Rachel. So maybe Carl and Rachel, once all this stuff is over, we'll have Linda and I back down to do a part 2. Bigfoot Odyssey, lucky number 13. Linda says she'll bring pecan pie if Rachel will cook those shrimp again. So we'll even bring the shrimp. You just cook them however you cooked them last time.
Sounds good.
Give that secret out if you want to, Rachel.
Now, what does Linda know about iodine? People are talking about taking iodine as well.
Iodine? We call it iodine.
Oh, well, good over there.
Yeah, you can get that. Oh, you English people are just strange.
I know. We never pronounce anything right, do we?
No. You say mum, we say mom.
Yeah.
We go to the dentist.
The dentist. What was the other thing the other day?
I couldn't remember what it was.
Right.
Oh, what is it? You don't pronounce your T's. That's what it is.
Do I not?
Do I not? No, you do not.
I thought I did.
Nope. You don't. That's okay. Because I'm a hillbilly. You can tell. I'm from the United States South. Proud of it. So I can't say anything about your voice as much as I like to mess with you about it. I can't say. Another thing that bothers me that you guys do is you don't call it the hospital. It's just hospital.
Yeah, but we'll say we're going to hospital.
Yes. Where are you going? I'm going to hospital.
So we shorten the T. So like, this is a Lancashire thing. This is a Northern thing. So if I was going to put the kettle on to make you a cup of tea, I'd say I'll put the kettle on. Why waste time saying the extra letters when kettle?
Why waste time?
I've put a chicken in the oven.
You sound like a caveman. Need to go to a hospital. That's Cookie Monster more than caveman, but we go to a hospital. It's the hospital. It's
a hospital. It's a Northern thing. Daniela say ringing. Is the reason why I should have said that. Should I not have said that?
I wish we could have had a better show than this for everybody. I can't believe there's 150 people watching this right now that are hanging out with us. It's crazy.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, you came unprepared, Russell. I mean, you came and saved us, actually.
Right on. Well, I appreciate
you really did. It would have been a lot worse had you not showed up. You guys driving parkways, and are we driving parkways and parking driveways or something like that? I don't know what it is. Car park. That's what you call it.
It's a car park. Yeah.
It's a parking lot.
Well, it's a park. We park like cars.
Just 12 more minutes, guys. I swear. Somebody ask Russell a question, please. Somebody please ask Russell a question.
And reassure Tom Saylor, I feel good. Sorry if I don't look like I feel good, but I do feel good.
Well, it's a little after midnight there, isn't it? And like 1 a.m.
It's 1 o'clock. It's 10 to 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I've actually got the moon in my eye. The moon's so bright. And last night I was sat here and suddenly there was like a ping in the corner of the window, and it was the moon, and it was moving over, and it's just right up there.
That's amore. When the moon is bright,
that's it.
Like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I'd rather have some pizza than love at the moment, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers. But I'm enjoying the moonshine.
Yeah, I've got a couple of stories coming out on the Shudder that have the moon in them. I just did a Bigfoot story, a hide and seek one. That was there's something about that. If you can visualize that, when we were kids, that's what we did here in the United States is we played hide and go seek and stuff like that at dark in the summertime. The moon's out, and you played freeze tag with the neighborhood kids. And when it got dark, you played hide and go seek. When I heard that story, it just hit home. And it was really easy to write that part. The whole gist of running into this, 9 foot or 8 foot tall creature when you're doing this, thinking it's one of the guys you're playing hide and go seek with, is bad enough. But when you can imagine that moonlight in there, it's just, I don't know, there's something about it.
I see some questions popping up in chat, and I don't have any cryptid experiences. I've told you in the past that I did. It's more ghost experiences. I wouldn't mind a cryptid experience. It sounds crazy, and I know you've been through it, but I would, knowing, I mean, it's so different now, knowing what I know now as opposed to a year and a half ago. I would welcome a cryptid experience as far as a Bigfoot encounter in the woods, just because I would know what it is. It's that whole caught off guard. What the hell is that? That's the shocker.
Exactly. Even if you are, I did one. I think it was the last narrations I did. The elderly couple, they had their metal detectors. This is in Florida.
Oh yeah.
That would be the way that you would want to run into one of these things, I think. Even though they got out of there and never went back. I can't blame them for that, actually.
And I saw Gemini Moon asked, how do I like being a grandfather? That's new to me.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, just the other day, and actually about a week now. It was unexpected. My son kind of kept it from us, but it's beautiful baby. I'm so happy for him and his girlfriend, and I hope everything goes well. They're back east.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's got to be scary to have a newborn right now.
Yeah,
that's gotta worry the heck out of everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on their mind. It's on mine, but life hopefully goes on, and
oh yeah,
it's
absolutely
it's a weird time.
We pray, just everybody. It's a good thing to do, even if you don't even believe in God, which I don't see how anybody could not pray. Just say a prayer. Say a prayer. It's positive affirmation. It works.
I was thinking about this today, and because I was gonna make a video today and just to post it today, but like I told you, my aunt died, and I really don't want people to message me and send their condolences. Just take that time that you would, the energy that you were going to use to give your condolences to me, send out a prayer. And some people say, well, I don't pray. But if you tell somebody to have a good day or anything like that, it's a form of prayer. People tie prayer to religion, and it doesn't have to be. It's just putting a positive thought or vibe out into the universe. You don't have to, say a prayer is religious.
Yeah, I mean, I do it, and I probably don't do it like anybody else does. I just start talking, and I feel like he knows I'm talking to him. It's not a formal thing where it's, Heavenly Father, I've done that before. I have, but I don't, I just start talking to him, and I try not to pray for anything in particular, just some strength and some wisdom and some understanding, calm nerves. Calm nerves is a big deal for me, because I can have a panic attack in just a second. It just hits and there's no control over it. It's been that way for a long time. It's not as bad as it used to be, but just praying for that. Keep me at ease, and it works. It does. Any positive affirmation, it's positive energy. All the more positive energy we can get out of people right now, it certainly can't hurt.
No, it helps. It definitely helps. And just putting that positive energy out there, and it makes a difference. It really, really makes a difference.
Absolutely. We got any more questions here? What we got? I'm looking. You guys know the drill. Put them bad boys in caps.
What's going on at Skinwalker Ranch?
Oh, sorry, I did that.
Oh.
I'm working against you here. I think we both saw it at the same time. What's going on at Skinwalker Ranch? I have no idea. I'm trying not to keep up with anything going on to that place. That place creeps me out. What do you know, Russell?
I haven't followed it at all. That is a weird place. My dad watches, I guess he watched that first episode of that new Skinwalker Ranch series or whatever it is, but I can't be bothered.
Yeah, that's something different right there. And what got me is hearing the people talking about seeing Bigfoot type creatures. Like this light would show up, this portal opens up, and here out steps this 8-foot tall Bigfoot creature. True or not, I don't know. I don't want to believe that that's what they do. If I see the evidence for it, fine, then I'll go there. But just to hear somebody say that, I don't know. There are too many things out there that can alter your perception. Even ley lines is one thing, but high-powered overhead power lines. If I started hearing voices in my head, that would be the first place I looked, because EMF can do that to you. It can make you feel sick. It can make you disoriented, lose time, hear voices. A high level of EMF can do that to you. And those big, huge power lines put out a lot of EMF. I know Mark and Melanie Zasky were going through their area where there is nothing but woods and a creek with a millimeter that gives you down to the 100th milligauss what's in the ambient air. At your house, you can get about 2 milligauss when you get close to a plug. They were hitting 300 out there, just walking through the woods. No power lines overhead. Now, that's what made me lean more toward these creatures having something to do with EMF than infrasound. Infrasound is not a very strong frequency. EMF is. It can, if it's strong enough, it's microwaves. It can scorch you. It cause abnormal cell growth and all kind of good stuff. That's why you don't put your cell phone up to your ear. I hate having headphones on right now. But yeah, a 300. So where does that come from? Is that something that they can create and push out there towards you? I don't know. To me, it seems more plausible. Not that they can't do infrasound, but when you hear of any other animal doing infrasound, like elephants and tigers, it's not just infrasound. There's an audible tone there with it. So, it's not like they're sitting here and there's nothing you can hear and they're doing it. Elephants are the same way. Elephants will purr and they'll use a stronger frequency to push out that infrasound farther, and they can hear each other from miles away. But it's just like cats purr, but it's so low and guttural. Alligators, same thing. You can actually see an alligator vibrate the water. Here's me hitting the thing, vibrating the water, but you can barely hear what's going on there. So there's an audible tone in there with it. If Sasquatch does that, just infrasound, I don't know. If they put it out there, to me, it's something with EMF. That's all I can say. It just makes more sense. The effects, how it affects someone, is what makes more sense to me. Ryan Dawson, here's a question. The mission is still on. Yes. We got shut down, obviously. But we're planning to go back hopefully in the fall, if this whole thing is over and the parks are open back up and we can get back into the areas that we were going to go before in Florida. We'll see.
Did you not have an email address for your new channel?
Yes. If anybody has a story to tell, there it is. readmynarrative@gmail.com. It doesn't have to be a Bigfoot story. I'll take ghost story, goblin story, rape, werewolf. It doesn't matter, as long as it's a fringe, creepy kind of, story. That's the vein I'm trying to stay in right there. So email me at readmynarrative@gmail.com. And Russell, do you have an email?
I do. It's monstermogollon@gmail.com.
spelled like this here.
Yep, just
M-O-G.
backwards. Monster first, Mogollon at gmail.com.
Email Russell with your story, monstermogollon@gmail.com. I think you and I are going to be working together quite a bit, Russell.
Right on, man.
I do. I'm here for you with the editing. I do okay.
I'm figuring it out slowly, you know.
Once you figure out where the tools are and exactly what they do and all the little shortcuts, it can go. I remember the very first one I did that I hate, the one from Missouri that Daniela loves so much. 20 hours it took me to do that. I messed up so many times, and I still to this day I hate it. The rest of them are not that much better, but you can see how they progressed, and it took me a lot less time going through there doing an hour-long video for 20 hours. So, but hey, we made it. Can you believe that?
I know.
All right. Well,
Goodbye.
Russell, what are you leaving right now?
Me?
No, Daniela, did you say goodbye?
No, I said it flew by.
Oh, yeah. Well, once Russell got here, bailed us out.
Yeah.
So if you haven't, go and subscribe to Mogollon Monster right now, just the way it's spelled right down here. Mogollon Monster on YouTube, putting out the first video tomorrow. Go and subscribe to the Shudder, and you'll get the narrations of stories. Going to be putting them out there every day. You are going to hear some of the same Bigfoot stories that I put out on Bigfoot Odyssey, just because I'm going to throw some content up there just to kind of boost the channel up. So I'm going to redo some of the ones, just the ones that I wrote from stories that people told me. Those are the ones I'm going to do on there. And I've got more stories that I put down yesterday that are going to be getting put up there. So go subscribe to that, to the Shudder. I'm going to go make that video public here right now. And subscribe to Hidden Existence. That's Daniela's channel. She's going to be taking up the slack. I think, which one is this? Number 93 or 94? Research report.
94.
Number 94. I think we're going to get to 100. And we're going to drop back to 1 day a week on the report. And Daniela's going to pick up the slack on her channel. So,
well, good luck with that new channel. That's awesome, Kerry.
Thank you very much. It's just strictly narration. So that's all it's going to be. Hopefully it'll pick up and take off, and I'll never have to go back to Louisville again.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. I doubt that happens, but
well, you have to start somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, got to start somewhere. But thanks, guys, for joining us here tonight. We'll be back Saturday with who?
With Kevin Foster.
Kevin Foster.
Kevin Foster.
Not sure who that is, but looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, he'll be a good guest.
All right, good deal. Well, Daniela, great job as always. Thank you so much, Russell.
Thank you for having me.
Showing up. Absolutely. Hope you get 10,000 subscribers tomorrow. I'll be watching for sure. I'm going to subscribe right now. So everybody have a good night, and y'all take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.